Ben Hur is one of the great milestones of film history. In its day, it was the most expensive film ever made, winning 11 Oscars and giving Charlton Heston one of the defining roles of his long career. It featured the most famous chariot race ever staged and wrote a new definition for Hollywood epic spectacles. Now, a French theatrical company has turned the movie into an arena spectacular, staging 2 shows in Sydney this weekend. While much of the focus has been on the scale of the show and the role of Russell Crowe as narrator, the show will also help children in one of the world's most troubled regions. Theatrical reports.
There's a blue now! There's a fight breaking out!
Sydney's Homebush Stadium is normally reserved for gladiatorial contests of the modern football variety. But in just 3 weeks, it's been transformed into an ancient Roman amphitheatre.
Like in a big epic movie of Hollywood. It's doing Hollywood in a stadium.
The story of Ben Hur is best known for the 1959 movie starring Charlton Heston, climaxing with the most celebrated chariot race in cinema history. Almost 50 years later, a French team has turned the sword and sandal epic into a stadium spectacular.
Ever think I could put a large boat of 40 meters in the middle of a stadium?
Like the movie, every detail of the stadium chariot race is choreographed, and stuntmen ride 32 Australian horses during the race. French singer and actor Christophe Hérault plays Ben Hur.
Driving a chariot is very difficult because you have to know horses, but not horses in general. You have to know your horses, and they have to know you.
400 costumes have been sewn, hundreds of sandals, swords and shields have been made with great attention to detail. The original gladiator, Russell Crowe, is the narrator of the production, and Christophe Hérault is keen to meet the Hollywood star in person.
I hope it will be good in France for my agent, because I will take a photo with him. And after I will, I've worked with Russell Crowe.
The majority of the 225 actors in the cast are Australian. One of the extras is Sudanese refugee and Australian citizen Johnson Noor. Today is his first day on set.
But we have a wonderful costume and we'll check that.
Johnson Noor plays a Judean, and after a costume fitting, the meticulous wardrobe staff aren't happy.
It's too Roman.
It's too Roman?
Yeah, we have to do an Hebrew one.
Johnson Noor is also part of a team raising funds for a girls' school in southern Sudan, which will be known as the Mary MacKillop College for Girls.
Sudan has been in war for 21 years. In the state that we are building the school at now, they only have one high school, and they would accept 400 students in a year, and only 1 or 2 girls, sometimes 3 girls, would be accepted in a year in the whole state.
Homebush Stadium has agreed to make Ben Hur a fundraising event and has already donated $10,000 to the project. Mark Ricks of Catholic Education has been the liaison with the production.
One of the areas whereby that was most hardly hit by the civil war was in southern Sudan, in a place called Awil, and many of that community are here. That it is their dream and their desire to build a school back in their hometown, and we'd love to help them do it.
Turn around.
When Johnson Noor was just 7, his father fled to Ethiopia after being persecuted in Sudan for his political beliefs. There he sent for the rest of the family.
We had to walk, and we had to walk for 3 months walking, crossing the border into Ethiopia. And we had to cross the River Nile, and my mother drowned in the River Nile with many other women and children. And we arrived in Ethiopia.
In Ethiopia, Johnson Noor was educated at a school run by Catholic missionaries. It's also where he found out about Australia.
I knew about Australia before, when I was in year 2, about the kangaroo that, an animal that carry a baby, their pouch or something, I say, well, it's a very good, lovely country. I need to go and see these animals.
Tomorrow the show will open, and organisers hope it will draw the same interest it did in Paris, where it was seen by 300,000 people.
In France it was the biggest production ever done. I've made a lot of big tours in stadiums with operas and with musicals, but this is more huge than anything I can think of.
For the director, there's just one worry.
In fact, the most annoying thing could be the weather, because we are doing a show in plein air. So if the weather is terrible, if we have a big storm, could be dangerous for the horses. Even if there's a lot of rain, we are doing the show.
Theatre Chaos with that report.